Top American. So this is much more spread out here, Greg. Justin Thomas, the shortest odds. He plays every single match. He's got a great partnership. So does Patrick Cantlay. So does Jordan Spieth. So does Xander Schauffele. The American side, it's kind of take your pick seemingly of one of those guys because you know you're going to get built-in opportunity. But would you like to find someone else on the board?
I think Mr. 3-footer Jordan Spieth is the guy here. This event just means so much to him. His record has been so good, and I think he's got to crack through eventually in the singles. It's so hard for me to picture Jordan Spieth being 0-7 in team singles, like in Ryder Cup, President's Cup singles. I cannot picture that. And he's played well at Whistling Straits before. I expect him to again. I think any of those four players are a really solid option. And of course, the team of Schauffele and Cantlay is far less proven. And they have a 2-2 record together, 2-0 in foursomes, 2-0 in single, in four ball. And when you bring that against the Europeans, it could change significantly. So my lean, I believe the safest play, and I'm comfortable with the number on Spieth. Going below that, there's options, especially if it doesn't go well for the Americans. I think there's more options on the American side because they're not so reliant on two players the way, I mean, it sounds like you guys think three. I kind of draw the line at two, as I said earlier, but I think all 12 of these guys are capable of going 5 matches. And for that reason, I don't think anyone should. But that's just me.
Jordan Spieth 7-1 for Greg. I took half a point and took Patrick Cantlay at 7.5-1. I also think when we get the pairings, there's some interesting things to be had when we see what goes out Friday morning. But KP, you and Mark are both in lockstep again here. So this time around, I'll give you the crack to go first.
Yeah, this is hard because Greg is right. It's harder to know like who's going the distance here. I feel pretty confident that JT is going to play 5 matches. I mean, I think it kind of flew under the radar that he went 4-1 in Paris. I mean, he's the only guy since Corey Pavin in '95 to win at least 4 points for a U.S. team in a Ryder Cup. So the only guy over the last, 25 years? And he wasn't great this summer, but 2 of his last 3 events, or I guess 2 of the 3 playoff events, he gained strokes putting. That was kind of the thing that had plagued him throughout the summer. So it seemed like it kind of came around a little bit. And I think that he's in the same way that I think Rory is kind of the heartbeat of the Euro side, I think that's JT on the US side. And I think even if it doesn't go well in the first match, I think you roll him and Spieth back out there. You know, I really do. So I think he gets 5 matches, and I think he's probably even though it's not a great number, I still like him a lot better than like a Xander at just, one. Xander at 7-1, I think is way worse than JT at 6-1.
Mark, you're on the same page.
I am, and sort of thinking along the same lines as Kyle. I just feel like Justin Thomas, I mean, the physical gifts aside, he's the lightning rod of this United States team. He's likely to be, him and Spieth, the most vocal guys in the locker room afterwards. When he gets out there and plays, he's got that sort of a bulldog thing about him, and he's not afraid to get in your face, and he's up for the battle all of the time. And just like Garcia, just like Poulter in a funny sort of a way, Justin seems to raise the level of his play when he's just head to head, when it's that like you versus me thing. And so I love him in this format. I think his game's going to do well, and the putting is trending in the right direction.